Margot, please take it away.
I, Margot G.K., the town clerk of the town of Morristown, do hereby state that it is 7:32 on Tuesday, September 10th, 2024, and that this regular meeting is being held in Council Chambers, 200 South Street, Morristown, New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided according to law by written notice to the Morristown Daily Record, the official newspaper of the town of Morristown, and to the Newark Star Ledger, both more than 48 hours ago. Notice was also posted on the bulletin board at Town Hall and filed with the office of the town clerk of the town of Morristown. I do further state that I shall enter into the minutes of this meeting a statement that such notice was furnished as particularly described by me in this public announcement. I will take a roll call. Councilwoman Foster. Here. Councilman Anacone.
Here.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Here.
Councilman Polipchuk.
Here.
Councilman Russo.
Here.
Councilman Silva.
Present.
And Council President Umbriac.
Here.
Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you. If we could please pause for a moment of silence and specifically remember 23 years ago tomorrow morning is the anniversary of September 11th, which altered everybody's lives in unimaginable ways. So if you could just remember that, where you were, what happened during this moment of silence. Thank you. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, I just want to announce that consent agenda item number 2 was previously voted on during an ABC hearing that was just held, so that will be removed from the agenda. With that, we have 4 items on the agenda. Unless members of council would like to pull one for separate consideration, I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Can you pull number 4, please?
Okay, with that, I would ask for a motion to approve consent agenda items number 1, 3, and 5.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Foster. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I wasn't here for
You need to abstain.
staying.
Councilman Anacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk?
Yes.
Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
And Council President Umbriac?
Yes.
You know what, I would like to amend that. That was just for item number 1. Since Councilwoman Foster was absent, please excuse me. I would now ask for a motion to approve consent agenda items 3 and 5.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Anacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk?
Yes.
Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Council President Umbriac?
Yes.
Consent agenda item number 4, Early Street between Mills and Colonial, Block Party 2024, September 21st, 2024, 2 to 10 p.m.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
It's just it's my block party, so
So
I'm
you-
but
Okay.
it's
I gotta
sincere
say no.
invitation for everyone, even everyone in the audience, please come join us. So,
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. On the approval of consent agenda item number 4, Councilwoman Foster?
Yes.
Councilman Anacone?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay?
Yes.
Councilman Polipchuk?
abstain.
Councilman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
And Council President Umbriac?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. At this time, we'll open the floor for a public hearing on any matter. Please approach the microphone, state your name and address.
Mr.
and
Burns.
Keep your comments to 5 minutes, no derogatory comments.
Thank you.
This will be nice and easy, I promise. Okay, let me just get my stuff out of here. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Can you lower this? How do you lower this?
Just on the top, Bill.
Oh, okay, up here,
Oh, thanks, Bob.
okay. Whew. Get my breath. Okay. Good evening. My name is Bill Byrne. I live at 100 Franklin Street. Forgive me, I'm out of breath. First of all, the ARC's doing a walkathon, and it's to raise money for the residential housing and stuff like that. It's also raises money for like Project Hire, and also McGarp, and a lot of the different day programs, and the various people that I support every year. And you don't have to read the newspaper. You hear on the news that state budgets are tightening up. I've been hearing that a lot. Also federal budgets. And I'm sorry that we have to come to the community like this, but we need everybody's support. And they're having this walkathon, and anybody that likes to run, so the big companies that want to come and support the ARC, they have a mile walk, 1 mile walk, and then they have a 5K, which you can walk or you can run. And that's something new this year. And so it's called like the Oktoberfest, and it's October 12th. And I think registration's at 9. And here I got your flyer, you can take a look. And this thing here is like, if anybody wants their sponsor to walk, and back here is like where you register, and I think it's like $30, I'm not sure. They had the early bird special, but they don't have that now. They had it earlier. And also this is like if you want to sponsor me, or if you want to donate, or if you have a company and a company wants to donate, and we can use the dollars, and all the money, a lot of the money goes also too to help us get it like out in the community. So this way, if there's any family that has somebody with a disability that's looking to see what services are out there, the Morris Arc, they have a lot of neat services, and like I say, recreation, and they also have a bowling program, that meets in the winter time, and they also have Special Olympics track and field meets in the springtime. So I'm just asking everybody's for support here. I got a sponsor sheet, and I'll pull it out of my knapsack if you can allow me a couple minutes more. And I promise I'll be nice and short. So then I'm going to get the sponsor sheet out.
Bill, why don't you hold this sponsorship for the end? You only have about 30 seconds left, so that'll give you some time to get everything together, and then you could certainly approach us after the meeting.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to sponsor me, just see me after the meeting.
Absolutely.
And I can, when you're done, I can, get the sponsor sheet and bring it up to you. So thank you for your time. Promise to be short. So please support the ARC. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Billy.
Anybody else from the public? Kristen Ace, please come up.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen Ace. I'm the chair of the Morristown Shade Tree Commission. I live at 24 Franklin Street. I've got a couple things to tell you today. First, sad news, we did not get the Arbor Day pass-through grant for $200,000. But we had a lot of good interaction with two 501c3s in the area, so we're looking to partner with them moving forward with different grant opportunities. However, we are applying for a $50,000 grant with the land scale grant for reforestation of Jersey Cottage. As you know, reforestation is a complex business, so we're going to do the best we can with what we get. It's a one-to-one grant. I think that I can get a lot of donations to help offset, and we're also hoping that the Shade Tree Fund will be filled up again at that time. So I'll let you know what happens with that. We have the 2024 planting bid is out, and our town arborist will let me know when the planting begins, so everyone will know. And most of it is going to be in Ward 3 this year. Mill Street, I think we have 64 trees going on Mill Street. Yeah. We are working with the Morristown Partnership. Actually, the Morristown Partnership has done already most of this work of cataloging and and getting the sizes of all these tiny green spaces in and around Morristown. Just little places that are kind of left. They either have weeds or they have sad bushes, and they've cataloged all of those, and then the Shade Tree Commission will go out and we will find out exactly what plants are in there, and then we will create a plan to nativize that. And if we can put trees in places, we will. And then from there, the partnership and the Shade Tree Commission will be looking into the community for people to sponsor these tiny spaces. So we will, when we're ready, we'll be looking to all of you to help us find people or businesses or organizations that want to take on these tiny spaces. We are still dealing with vandalism of trees in Morristown. Don't know what to do about that, except just to tell you that it's happening and to kind of keep your eyes open. There should only be me or a couple of Shade Tree Commissioners or our tree crew pruning trees. So if you see something, call the police. You should know who all of us are by now, I hope. Please don't call the police on me. Parks. We are in phase 1 of our reforestation efforts in Jacob Ford. Again, reforestation is complex. We can work in Jacob Ford or Jersey Cottage because they are tiny and they are like secluded, so they don't meld into other properties that we have to deal with. So right now we are doing invasive remediation. That's probably going to be a 2-year process before we can begin reforestation. But just to let you know, that's where we are. And if you want more details, I can take you out there. I'm happy to meet you, talk you through it, call me, whatever you need. And then last but not least is Bud Park. So Bud Park is my baby. 3 years ago, I came up with the idea of how to mitigate all of the wet in the back and also how to help people walk around the park with a path. So the Shade Tree Commission liked the idea so much that they voted it to be our 10-year anniversary gift to Morristown. However, last year was our 10-year anniversary. And as you know, things take a little time, but one of the reasons why it took so much time is because the town was given the opportunity to have a grant for a shovel-ready project, and Bud Park was shovel-ready, so that's how we got the pathway paid for, which is very exciting. So this year, by the end of the fall, all the plants and the trees will be in. The Whole Foods is offered to give us water for 2 years while the plantings get established in case we have a drought like we've been experiencing. So I'm very excited about this because I'm getting to see one of my visions come into manifestation. And when we're all done, I would like to invite all of you out to do a little celebration there. And then lastly, our next meeting is next Tuesday at 7 p.m. in room 201. Please come if you would like to. Thank you.
Thank you. I saw a hand up in the back, gentleman in the back. Yes, please come forward.
Ben, he's going to need translation.
Sí, por supuesto.
Oh, you do it.
No, you do.
Sí, habla en español y yo traduzco. He's going to, he needs translation, so I'm going to be translating for him.
Thank you.
Diga, primero tiene que decir su nombre y la dirección donde vive.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Ramón Rodríguez, 51 Garden Street, Morristown, New Jersey.
So his name is Ramón Rodríguez. Háblale directo al micrófono. ¿Cómo es la dirección? 51.
51 Garden Street.
Yes. Sigue.
Muy buenas noches, honorable Consejo Municipal.
Good evening, Honorable Municipal Council.
El motivo de mi presencia es para solicitarles nuestra ayuda
The motive of my presence here is to ask for your help
a solucionar un inconveniente que tenemos en mi apartamento que está ubicado, como les repito, entre 51 Garden y New Street.
I'm
Es
here.
casa de esquina. Mi apartamento es
On the corner.
51 New Street.
Yes, he wants to express concern and ask for help about an issue that he has in his apartment. His apartment is at the corner of, ¿cuál es el nombre?
New Street, 51 New.
New, and what is the other street?
Yes, 51 New Street.
Garden.
La casa, apartamento es esquina.
Corner.
Garden Street?
Y corner.
¿Cuáles son el nombre de las dos calles que están ahí?
Garden,
Sí,
make a right, New Street.
yeah,
Yes,
on the
correct.
corner. Okay,
Right?
okay.
Go ahead, sigue.
Ok. Desafortunadamente, pues como es conocimiento de todos, en nuestro apartamento siempre vivimos 3, 4 personas y todos tenemos vehículos.
He said that there are 4 people that live at his apartment, and that's mostly what is standard there, and all of them have vehicles, cars.
Ok. Personas que no viven en el área o zona se estacionan frente a nuestros apartamentos.
People
en la
that,
New Yard,
that don't live in the
Y-
area are
y
parking
nuestro-
around their area.
y tanto mi persona como los que rentan, pues nos quedamos sin parking todo el día o del sábado y domingo.
He said
Ma-
that all the residents
por la
of
noche.
his unit don't have a place to park, sometimes during the entire day and even Saturdays and Sundays.
Ok, queremos solicitarles, pues nos puedan colaborar, ayudar respetuosamente, o sea, si se puede, poner un site que diga no parking, o sea, nosotros vivimos ahí, rentamos y no tenemos parking, pero personas ajenas sí lo hacen. Entonces necesitamos como un site, ¿verdad? Que pueda decir no parking o prohibido parquear para nosotros. Llegamos de trabajar, no tenemos dónde estacionar y vivimos ahí, pero personas ajenas sí lo hacen. Entonces,
Okay, he
¿cómo
said
nos
that
pueden-
he respectfully asked for a sign to be posted there that allows people to know that they can't park there. Sigue.
Entonces, esa es nuestra solicitud, que nos puedan ayudar con un site, tanto en la esquina de la New Street 51, que diga prohibido estacionar o no estacionar, al menos que seamos nosotros que sí rentamos, vivimos ahí. Entonces,
Yes,
si
he
se
said
pudiera.
he wants a sign that allows people to know that those spaces are designed for the people that live at his unit.
Resident parking lot.
Correct. ¿Cuál es? 51.
51 New Street.
Sí,
New Street.
corner.
The corner,
At the
yeah,
corner.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
¿Algo más?
No, solamente eso, solicitarles el site, que nos puedan colaborar con un site, que tanto ponerlo en la 51 y en la esquina, New,
Yep.
He says
que
in both,
podamos estacionar.
at 51 and the
No
new.
parking
Yes.
o anytime, no sé cómo,
Yeah.
cómo ustedes.
Eso diría parqueo solo para residentes.
Okay.
Okay.
Sí.
All right. Okay. Can you write your email and phone number? Or can you give me your email and phone number? ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono?
973
973
862
862
29
29
82.
82.
Ramón.
973-862-2981. Ramón.
82.
Oh, 82.
973
¿Cuál es
862
cuál es el
2982.
apellido?
Ramón Rodríguez.
Ramón Rodríguez.
Make sure that Jillian Barrett is that.
Yes. Okay. And ¿tienes un correo electrónico?
Yeah.
¿Cuál es?
Ramón
Ajá.
2015
Okay.
chinchilla@hotmail.com.
¿Chinchilla qué?
Doble L chinchilla.
Sí.
Doble L, arroba,
Arroba.
Ramón 2015 chinchilla@hotmail.com.
Ok, perfecto. Gracias.
Gracias a
Ok,
usted.
Thank you.
¿Puedo retirarme de la reunión o espero?
Sí, no, espera porque ahorita van a haber unas respuestas y si hay una respuesta para lo que te
Ok.
van a decir, yo traduzco.
Ok, yo espero.
Yes.
Sí.
Gracias,
Ok.
buenas noches.
Gracias.
Thank you, good night.
Gracias. Yes, ma'am. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Judy Byard, 37 Overlook Road. And I'm here to talk about the leaf blower ordinance, as usual, and about outreach. Everybody knows in Morristown, all the residents receive the blue packet of the sanitation and recycling schedule. And this past year, there was also a flyer from the Shade Tree Commission, and understand that this is due November 1st, if anybody wants to have a flyer, and so that it gets added in time. I'm aware that there's been many notices about the leaf blower ban, such as in newspaper articles and with council persons reaching out to landscapers, and the flyer that's in the website, and I think also emails went out. People were on the email list, which I just signed up for. But I think having a notice go out with the sanitation recycling schedule would also be very good to reach out to every resident of Morristown, because these other items I mentioned, not everybody looks at them. So this is a way for everyone to know. And I was hoping this could be something that could be done, and maybe it could include comments about the time frame of the ban, how people can talk to their landscapers, asking them not to use gas-powered leaf blowers between January and September 30th, and about calling the police if you see someone doing it anonymously if you want, and maybe list some harms. I spoke to Jillian, is it Jillian? Yeah, Barrett, last month. We had a nice conversation, and you had mentioned that, there is a cost to this, and it needs to be approved. And I'm not a member of any, well, I am a member of one organization, but I don't run any organizations in Morristown. But I would like to volunteer if this were to come to fruition, and put together a flyer if you guys would like that to take place. There's been some success with the leaf blower ordinance, with people talking to their landscapers, or some of them using it quickly, before we get a chance to call the cops. But it hasn't been perfect. There's still, my neighborhood's not too bad, but there's areas nearby where they keep using leaf blowers constantly. And one of the private schools, they had 3 of them attacking the front lawn. I don't know why. There was nothing to blow. The more outreach there is, the more success we'll have. And the state also has a bill under consideration. I think it's S-217, sponsored by Senator Bob Smith. And maybe that will pass. So if we can do as much outreach as possible, we'll be ahead of the game if there's a statewide leaf blower ban. So I hope you will consider this. I ask that you would, and to please discuss it and see if you agree with my idea, and if you want me to help out, I'd be happy to do so. So anyway, I appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public? All right, I'll close public session. Council responses to public hearing comments. Sure, Mr. Russo.
Hey, Kristen, how you doing? Hello, everybody else, too. Kristen, just one question. You mentioned vandalism, just so I can wrap my head around the kind of vandalism. Are we talking about people actually graffitiing or etching into the trees, or is it like unofficial pruning when you say vandalism? Okay,
Councilman, just so she's not on the microphone, I know the answer to that. They're cutting trees unauthorized.
Unauthorized cutting of trees,
Yes.
okay. Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay, is any response to Mr. Rodriguez for, and you can give it and I translate?
We'll follow up with property maintenance, follow up and code enforcement. You want to respond?
Okay. El alcalde y la administradora dice que van a hacer un seguimiento a lo que viniste a decir. En este momento I'm going to give you this information. Le voy a dar la información a ellos para que ellos hagan el seguimiento.
Also let them know my office, Caitlin from my office will follow up.
Okay. La persona que va a hacer el seguimiento se llama Caitlin. Ella habla español. Caitlin. Se escribe Kathleen.
Thank you.
I just want to make one comment
Sure.
on that. We did have complaints on that. They was putting cones out to save parking spots. Remember, you and I went over there for something else, and they complained to us about the parking over there. So, they are.
Just so you know, just for the record, the complaints on the parking were due to an illegal use of a garage
Yeah.
that people were using as a repair shop. I believe property maintenance and zoning were involved. I think Al Chifo just shook his head, the
Yeah.
director, and that was one of the causes of the extra cars, an illegal use of a garage, and it's been shut down, I believe, since, so that added to it.
Yes, and he mentioned that when he came in and I was coming in, he mentioned that there was a repair shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we the councilwoman and myself walked Garden Street, and we're talking to residents, and that's one of the things we pointed out, but we did not approach that property. What we did was we went to proper channels, and the zoning and property maintenance did their job, and shut it down.
Perfect. Any other comments from council?
Just
Yes,
on,
Jillian.
on the flyer for the leaf blower ordinance changes, the town does intend to include an insert when we distribute the sanitation calendars at the end of the year to further inform the residents about the new rules.
Great, thank you.
Got that? We're going to put it in for you. All
Wonderful.
right.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
All right, we'll move to mayor's proclamations and presentations.
All right, let's, David, can you come up with me? And I'll do this first before I get into this, because I know everybody in this council chamber is dying to get home at 9 o'clock to see a world famous debate. Not the way it is. Okay. Councilman Silva. This is a proclamation recognizing National Hispanic Heritage Month. September 15th, AKA my birthday, through October 15th is recognized as National Hispanic Heritage Month and is marked by celebrations highlighting the achievements of Hispanic and Latino Americans and their contributions made to our communities. Hispanics have been profound and positive influence on our country through their strong commitment to family, faith, hard work, and service. They have enhanced and shaped our character with centuries-old traditions that reflect the multi-ethnic and multicultural customs of their community. Hispanic Heritage Month was first observed in 1968 under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period. September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of the independence of Latin American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their independence days on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. Also, Columbus Day, or Dia del Raza, which is October 12th, falls within the 30-day period. The term Hispanic or Latino refers to Puerto Rican, South or Central American, or other Spanish cultural origins, regardless. On the 2010 census form, people of Spanish, Hispanic, or Latino origin could identify themselves as Mexican, Mexican American, Chicano, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and any other Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin. National Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to honor the contributions of Hispanics that have made throughout history and acknowledge their positive impact on our community. Now therefore, I, Timothy P. Doherty, Mayor of the Town of Morristown, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2024 as National Hispanic Heritage Month in the Town of Morristown, and I encourage Morristown residents, community organizations, and local officials to observe this month with the appropriate ceremonies, activities, and programs. On behalf of my office and the council, thank you for all that you do for the Hispanic community in our town and what you do for our town council and our community.
Thank you, Mayor. Just briefly, last year, today I was caught by surprise that this was going to be presented, so I didn't bring any people from the community. But coincidentally, we have a member of the community that came to speak, and I'm going to speak in Spanish to him. Qué bueno que viniste esta noche, porque mucha de nuestra gente latina no viene aquí a hablar las cosas que tienen que hablar. What I said to him is that many of our fellow Latinos don't come here to put complaints, and that's one of my struggles here. So thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind the community here that the way in which we will have better relationships among different groups is by knowing their values, their virtues, not only to point out to our issues. We know that in our Latino community there are a lot of issues, and one of the things that I do and that I advocate for is education. If we give education to our Latino community, I think we're going to be doing better. Now, today's days, there are two types, we could say two types of immigrants, those that have been here for more than one generation, and those that just came from our countries. Unfortunately, because the federal government, both parties, we don't have a good immigration system, and that has caused a lot of problems for people to come from our countries, and sometimes here suffering discrimination and prejudice, and we know that there is good people and bad people in every ethnic group, but sometimes it comes a stereotype, and that needs to stop. We need to really appreciate the value of the Latino community, the history for many generations, and also I always look forward to the future, where we will see young people being doctors, lawyers, politicians, plumbers, and electricians too. We need trade. And finally, I'm going to say something that is very political, even though I'm not that political. I consider myself a servant leader. I think in this country we need a third party, because if the two parties don't do things because they want to benefit their staying in government, we need people that really take government serious and resolve all the issues that we have. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Morristown. God bless our community, not only the Latinos, but the entire community of our beautiful Morristown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, August 10th, we had Coffee with the Cop at Smart World. I want to thank our police department, our police chief for putting that together. August 15th, we had Rec Movie Night at Lizardwood, The Little Mermaid, for those who were in attendance. August 17th, we had Let's Come Together Art Show, which was excellent at Caldwell. Great job they did there. On August 31st, we had the Labor Day Jam and basketball game at Caldwell. September 6th and 7th. September 6th was a private event that coincided with the September 7th, which was the Butchie Barber Way celebration at Caldwell Park. Friday was a private family viewing, which was attended by council members and myself and the family. It was very moving. And September 7th, council was was there to celebrate Butchie Barber Way, the unveiling of the sign, and the plaque. And our council president did a great job with the presentation of the resolution and the reading of the plaque. And it was well attended, and the feedback that I have received has been overwhelming support. So thank you all for attendance and for that, putting that together after many meetings, getting that done. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Also want to give a quick shout out to Morristown Media. Sunday, and Councilman Umbriac, Councilman Russo, and Councilman Polubchek were there. We did a cleanup at Burnham Park in concert with Morristown Media, and we're going to do more. Several people showed up. We had a lot of people show up. I want to shout out to Dr. Siebert from the Burnham Park Association. They picked up many bags of stuff in the bushes and good cleanup. And we're also going to have some discussions with our police department and our police chief to make sure that these parks are being checked at night and that there's not too much extra activity going on in our parks. So thank you guys for showing up for that, and thank again for Greg Keefe's Morristown Media shout out to get residents there and people to volunteer. It was a good turnout. September 14th, we have a Community Health Day at the Morristown Hyatt. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's great for our seniors to understand what's going on. There's lots of different booths and medical information. I go every year. We're going to try to get transportation from the senior buildings to the Hyatt for seniors that can't make it. It's usually a very good turnout, and it's organized by Church of God in Christ for All Saints, and it's free health screening from AHS, resources of all ages, health presentations and activities for young people. It's really a great event. So that's at the Hyatt. That's September 14th. In the morning, 9 to 1, and obviously we all know by now at noon o'clock kicks off the Jazz Festival on the green from noon to 10 p.m. So if you're not doing anything, come down and spread the word. We've got a great lineup this year. It's going to be pretty good. On the 24th of September, there'll be my normal senior Q&A at the Senior Center. If you're a senior and you want to come, they're lively. That's all I can tell you. They are lively, and they are always loaded with questions, and they expect answers. So it's a lot of fun. On the 28th of Saturday, 28th of September, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., the Fall Rabies Clinic at Town Hall. Pre-register by calling 973-292-6731. Walk-ins are welcome. I got to tell you, a lot of people show up for that event, for the free rabies shot. A lot of people. So pre-register, so you're good to go, and don't get your free rabies shot. It's important. It's a great clinic. It's like I said, it's very well attended. The 29th of September is our fall festival from noon to 5. I'm sure somebody on the council will also mention that. Steve, and that's our annual fall festival. I want to just a couple of shout outs. Congratulations to the Morristown Little League. We haven't had much time over the summer. We only get that one meeting a month. The 12-year-old All-Star League became New Jersey state champs with their win 11-1 over New York. They advanced to the Metro Regional Championship game on Friday the 9th of August and took a loss to Staten Island's South Shore Little League. Morristown is very proud of the team and coaches for what they've accomplished. And I also want to give a shout out, before I give a shout out to Pee Wee, there's a couple of things that you guys should know. There's a new bakery that opened up on Schuyler. It's Kirschenbaum. I bought a bunch of stuff so the girls in the office could sample today. Women, girls, women. Yes, women in the office. 3 of them, and I think all of it's gone. Right? They took them home. So we're happy about that. And if you get a chance, Google, see if I get this right. Tostique? Tostique. Have you heard about it yet?
Yeah, sure have.
You heard it?
No.
That's coming. Google it.
Yeah.
So that's coming to Morristown, amongst many other things that'll be coming down the pike, which is very exciting. Just can't wait for you all to see what's happening. Also, there's 2 things I want to put on your plate. One is, before I do that, I want to recognize and honor Carl Pee Wee Cousins. He passed away August 11th. Carl served the town for 41 years. He was a police officer for 26 years, from 1980 to 2006. After retirement, he continued to serve Morristown as a special law enforcement officer for 15 more years from 2007 to 2022. Services were held on August 20th at Calvary, well attended, great service. He was a good friend, and he was truly a great guy, and we will miss him. You would have seen him many times in our court if you had to go to court. And I'm sure some of you have been to court sooner or later. But we will miss him. A great guy, and I know I will miss him personally. I had a brief conversation, and this is going to be put on your table now to the council. Brief conversation with the police chief on dealing with electric bicycles on our sidewalk. Not just bikes, which we know has always been, since I've been a council person, bikes have always been an ongoing issue. But lately, it's these electric bikes, and they're fast. This is not something that's 5 miles an hour. These things are zipping down the sidewalks, and also small mini bike. Like, have you seen people?
It's almost like a motorcycle.
Like they're like motorcycles, but they're like mini bikes. I know there's some state regulations. You may have to. I would like to get together with the business administrator, police chief, public safety director, and the council president if you want to.
Sure.
Bring some people with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're going to have to address it through ordinance. New York, I believe, is addressing it now and confiscating somebody's going to get clipped. These things do 25 miles an hour. And these are not 10-year-old kids riding these bikes down the side, these electric bikes down the sidewalks. And we better get on it now, before it gets too far out of control. So that's going to be put on your plate. Police chief is aware of it. He's in the back somewhere. And we will be in touch to set that meeting up. So if you want to you don't have to do a subcommittee if you just want to grab a council person.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
It's up to you.
Yep.
And start working on that.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Anything else? That's it. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll move on to council liaison reports.
Good evening. So far at Manhattan Village is, the Clapper Drive and Clapper Court is finished. They're working on Flagler Street now, and they're regularly doing a good job up there. We have no complaints, just the ones that out in the hotel is ready to come home, so. And, seems like everything is running pretty well down there now. Had any complaints, Mayor?
No, just I did speak to the housing director today or yesterday? Today. Today on the, just to make sure OHS is continuing as they renovate on Flagler, that they pay close attention to the dumpsters. As they're renovating, the dumpsters get filled up, and people still have to put their garbage in these dumpsters. And you don't want people piling garbage on the side because there's no place to put them in the dumpsters because they're cleaning out these units. There's a lot of work going on right now in Flagler.
Yeah.
So I said, even if OHS has to pick them up 4 days a week, that's their responsibility, not to put trash next to the dumpster, so that it goes in the dumpster. So I asked her to talk to OHS, and what we will do is the business administrator will authorize or direct our property maintenance to daily check, as this is going on in Flagler, daily check the dumpsters and make sure that they're accessible for garbage for the residents, daily.
Thank you. Councilman Russo.
It was a very quiet summer for the planning board. We went the last few months without a meeting, but we should be back on track at the end of this month for our next planning board meeting.
Thank you. Pastor Silva.
Yes, Morris Parking Authority, Helen of Troy, lease executed and begins on began already September 1st. Helen of Troy will occupy 13,750 square feet at 14 Maple Avenue, office building that was previously occupied by the Dutch Foundation. Solar EV submitted for permits pending courtesy review from the planning board. Dalton remedial repair work was authorized and is underway. The hard repair work was underway and now completed. Also, there is a position open for property manager if anybody wants to apply at MPA.
Thank you. Councilman Flipchuk.
Partnership hasn't met since our last meeting, but as Mayor Doherty mentioned, the Fall Festival is on the 29th, and I'm sure everyone knows what it is. So.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. So we'll move to regular business, please, Margot.
Okay, there are no ordinances for introduction this evening. We do have an ordinance for adoption. That's ordinance number O-25-2024, ordinance amending Chapter 24, Establishment of Cannabis Licensing and Business Regulations.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number O-25-2024.
Second.
At this time, I will open the floor for a public hearing on O-25-2024 only. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Are there any comments or questions from council?
I just want to emphasize what I said before. I voted yes, and I will vote yes, not because I agree with this type of store, understanding that there is state law, but also believing that this specific ordinance will help to have more control over the situation of selling to minors or to inappropriately. Yep, that's it.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. On the adoption of,
Hold on.
excuse me,
More
sir.
comments.
I looked at you
The,
first. I got nothing.
Okay. Actually, I won't be voting in favor of this. I was under the impression that we were going to be meeting to review it with the subcommittee again. That meeting did not occur. I did get reminders about scheduling the meeting. The meeting was not scheduled. I believe taking the criteria for selection should not be left during the period of time when an RFP is being developed. It leads to arbitrary, capricious. It leads to the possibility of allegations of favoritism. I believe the criteria should continue to be in this ordinance as was established by the committee, which I'll remind everybody was a very broad committee with representatives from every single ward. There's 2 ward representatives in addition to the 3 folks from council, in addition to people from administration that developed this ordinance. And that criteria is there for a reason. What we were going to do was review the criteria and see what should be in there and why it should be in there, and should the criteria be updated. Very supportive of the hemp provision that was added, very supportive of changing from 1 medical and 1 recreational to 2 licenses. I think that's appropriate, but I think taking the criteria out is not a good.
Any other questions or comments?
Just quickly, I agree with Mr. Anacone on a few items there. Overall, I support the ordinance. I appreciate the hemp stuff going in and that restriction, and also the 2 licenses being clarified that way. Concerned about the criteria, probably not as much as Mr. Anacone, but yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more definition to it, but I don't think anything there is going to stop me from voting in favor.
Okay. All right.
Okay, on the adoption of ordinance O-25-2024, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
No.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Flipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes?
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Ordinance O-25-2024 is adopted. There are 14 resolutions on the agenda. Would members of council like to pull any for separate consideration?
150, please.
Any others? Okay, with that, I would ask for a motion to adopt resolution numbers R-138-2024 through R-149-2024 and R-151-2024.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, on the adoption of those resolutions, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Flipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution number R-150-2024. Resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Morristown, County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing and directing the Planning Board of the Town of Morristown to conduct a preliminary investigation to determine whether certain property located at 19 through 21, 23, and 27 through 29 Market Street, and known as Block 6001, Lot 8.01, within the town constitutes a non-condemnation area in need of rehabilitation pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 48:12A-1 et sec, and authorizing the preparation of a redevelopment plan for the property.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number R-150-2024.
Second?
Yes.
Jillian, thank you. You reviewed this with me. I'm in total support of it. I see you brought John, too. So do you want to just give a brief, because it's important, I think.
Yes.
And I think it's a good move for what you guys are doing. I think we should call attention to it and let people understand what you're doing here, because it's good. So why don't you give the group a few minutes?
Sure. I'll give the short explanation, which I think should cover everything. I did ask John to come just in case there were questions of a legal nature. You may recall a couple of years ago, the governing body, initiated a condemnation redevelopment action directing the planning board to initiate a blight study for this property, which was the old site where the hotel project was approved. The hotel project approval has since lapsed subsequent to the demolition of the prior properties already having taken place. So now there's sort of holes in the ground and nothing happening. We know the property owner has been marketing the property, but has not yet been successful in effectuating a project. We still believe that there needs to be some mechanisms put in place to move the development forward, but the sort of less intense area in need of rehabilitation is sufficient in order to effectuate the control and to allow us to develop a redevelopment plan for the site to make sure that the site gets developed. So we have put before you to restart the blight study process, which is the first step, which would have the governing body direct the planning board to initiate the blight study to designate an area in need of rehabilitation, which then would come back and would allow us to develop a redevelopment plan and ultimately move forward with a project. Being a rehabilitation area instead of a redevelopment area, it does not come with like a pilot, for example, but it does allow for the flexibility with identifying a redevelopment plan and identifying the appropriate type of zoning that would allow an appropriate project of the appropriate scale to move forward, and for us to designate a developer to make that project happen.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Thanks for being here, John.
Any questions?
Thank you.
If you're upstage.
Okay.
All right, call a question.
All right, on the adoption of Resolution R-150-2024, Councilwoman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Anacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Flipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries, resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you, Margot. We don't have any unfinished old business, but we do have some new business, and you should have received in your packet. We received a letter, a notification from a local towing company. Margot, maybe if you can just provide a quick oversight for everyone's benefit.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
I prepared something.
Yeah.
Once again, Mr. Glass has approached the council requesting an increase in towing rates. I believe, I'd sent the last time that this was done, which I believe was in 2000, Jillian had explained, Ms. Barrick had explained at that time that there was a nominal increase back in 2020. So Mr. Glass is asking for another increase, and he did, of course, propose the amounts for your deliberation. Grace and I did do some benchmarking, and so included in the packet was a spreadsheet showing the rates of a number of similar municipalities inside and outside of Morris County.
That was wonderful, thank you. So based on the information that you received in your packet, so the 2020 rates are noted. For example, 150 for a standard tow vehicle, proposed increase for 2025 of 175, so an increase of $25. Same for a flatbed tow vehicle, Just wanted to put this on new business to see what everybody's thoughts were, if they thought that these were nominal increases. Obviously, he's mentioned that there's been increase in insurance, as we know, increase in other, gas, everything else. So he's proposing these new increased rates, and I wanted to bring it before council just for consideration and discussion. If anybody has any
When they
thoughts.
bid on these contracts, do they bid it with the pricing? So by setting the rate, are we bidding against ourselves? I'm just curious. You know what I'm saying? When we put it, is it, because we do we don't do a towing list? Okay, we do it
No,
for.
we have a list, we
List.
appoint,
Right,
but we don't bid.
bid it.
Margot, I assume you rotate through the list, is that a?
No, I think we just approve everybody on the list.
Right, and so the police have a rotating call list, and then there's the private towing list.
His rates are, his spreadsheet shows it.
It's pretty comparable.
Yes, the spreadsheet will
Comparable
show
to
it.
other communities and
And
towns.
He's in town, good operator.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they're not bidding with prices on their selection, you're not taking away the competition.
Right.
For people to come in.
That's
Keep
correct.
the rates low for these people. Because.
They're rotating. They go on that
We've all
rotation.
had a car towed maybe once. It's expensive.
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable.
So.
Okay.
I don't think
I don't think it's unreasonable. Does anybody feel it's unreasonable?
No.
No. Okay.
So, ordinance for the next meeting?
Ordinance for the next meeting to increase the rates.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and then?
And then we have a council appointment.
Yes, we do. So as of September 5th, there is one vacancy on the Housing Authority. So we have received 2 applications for your consideration to fill that new term expiring September 4th on 2029.
I'd like to nominate Peter O'Hagan.
Second.
Any other nominations? I will close the nominations at this time. On the appointment of Mr. O'Hagan to the Morristown Housing Authority for a term ending September 4th, 2029. Councilman Foster.
Yes.
Councilman Iannacone.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lindsay.
Yes.
Councilman Filipchuk.
Yes.
Councilman Russo.
Yes.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Council President Umbreak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mr. O'Hagan is hereby appointed to the Morristown Housing Authority for a term ending September 4th, 2029.
All right, wonderful, thank you. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?